right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a deep dive into AMD's performance in 2024. The research you sent over is pretty fascinating. Looks like they had a record year, but, things aren't always as simple as they seem, are they?
Yeah, definitely some twists and turns in this story.
For sure. Okay, so let's kick things off with that record revenue number, a whopping $25.8 billion. We're talking a 14% jump. That's got to be huge, especially with the economic stuff everyone's worried about.
Right, it really puts them, AMD, in a strong position. And if you look at Q4 alone, they hit $7.7 billion. That's a 24% increase compared to the year before. So yeah, they're definitely picking up speed.
It seems like, at least from what I see in this research, the data center market is really driving this success. I mean, their data center revenue, get this, grew by 94%, landed at $12.6 billion. So what's behind that kind of explosive growth?
I think it boils down to, the demand for AI and cloud computing. These technologies are changing everything, and AMD is right there with the processors and GPUs to power it all.
And they're not just working with anyone. We're talking big names. AMD's EPYC processors and their AI GPUs are powering over 1,000 public cloud instances. We're talking Microsoft, Google, Amazon Web Services, even Tencent and Alibaba.
You got it. They're not just supplying chips, they're woven into the whole global cloud picture. And that data center success, well, it's fueling their AI ambitions in a big way.
Speaking of AI, this whole angle is super interesting. It feels like AMD is making some really calculated strategic moves here.
Oh, for sure.
Can you break down some of their key plays in this area?
Partnerships are a biggie. Like IBM, they're using AMD's Instinct MI300X accelerators in their cloud services. And Dell, they're putting AMD Ryzen AI processors in their commercial PCs.
Oh, wow. So they're going after both the data center and personal computing markets with their AI tech.
Exactly. And they're also teaming up with companies like Aleph Alpha, to develop these next-gen AI architectures. They're really building a whole AI ecosystem.
Right. It makes sense. It's not just about the chips. It's about the whole platform, making it easier for businesses to develop and use AI solutions.
Exactly. Long-term thinking, building for the future.
Okay, now for the twist in the story. AMD is doing phenomenally well in data centers, making big AI moves. But their gaming revenue, it took a nosedive, down 58%. What happened there?
A couple of factors, I think. The demand for gaming consoles and custom chips has kind of softened. Plus, they're up against NVIDIA and Intel in the gaming GPU market. It's tough out there.
So is this a sign AMD is losing its edge in gaming, or is it just a bump in the road? I mean, they did just announce those Ryzen AI Max processors for gaming at CES 2025.
They did, yeah. Those processors are designed for gaming, content creation, and AI stuff. It's kind of interesting. We'll see if that versatility can win over the gamers.
I guess they're trying to stand out, offering something unique, but can they really go head-to-head with giants like NVIDIA and Intel's, who already own that gaming world?
$1 million question right there. They'll have to come up with some seriously innovative solutions to win back that market share.
And it's not just gaming, right? Their embedded systems business took a hit too, didn't it?
Yeah, 33% drop in embedded revenue.
Is that also the competition, or are there other things going on?
It's partly a general slowdown in that sector, but yeah, AMD's performance there is something to watch for sure.
So overall, it sounds like AMD is facing, both wins and some pretty tough challenges.
Yeah, definitely. Amazing year in some areas, real struggles in others.
And for 2025, they've set some big goals, haven't they? Their Q1 2025 forecast is $7.1 billion in revenue, with a non-GAAP gross margin of 54%. Now, for those of us who aren't financial wizards, can you quickly break down non-GAAP?
Oh, sure. Non-GAAP basically means they're not including certain costs, like stock-based compensation. It gives you another way to look at their profitability.
Right. Thanks for clearing that up. So how are they planning on hitting these ambitious targets? What's their strategy?
3 main focuses. First, they're going all in on AI. More investment, developing your software, and more partnerships with cloud providers.
So they're really banking on AI to keep growing like crazy.
Totally. Second, they're pushing those Ryzen AI-powered PCs, trying to get a stronger foothold in the business world.
Makes sense. AI could totally revolutionize how we work. What's the third piece of the puzzle?
They want to revitalize their gaming presence, hoping the launch of next-gen Radeon GPUs will help them win back some of that market share.
So going into 2025, they've got a clear vision and they seem ready to adapt. But this brings up a big question. Will all this be enough to make AMD the top dog in tech? Surpassing Intel and NVIDIA.
That's the question everyone's asking.
Yeah.
Tech moves so fast, nothing's guaranteed.
I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out.
Absolutely. But it's going to be one heck of a ride.
Well, I'm strapped in and ready for it.
Yeah, it really is a fascinating time to be watching the tech industry. So many moving parts. The stakes are just incredibly high.
I totally agree. It feels like every day there's some new breakthrough that could completely change the game.
Right. And AMD is like right there in the middle of it all, actively shaping these changes.
That's what makes this deep dive so interesting. It's not just about, the numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about understanding those forces that are, actually driving the future of technology.
You got it. And those forces are kind of coming together in these really interesting ways. I mean, we've talked about AI and cloud computing, but there's also like the rise of edge computing, the need for energy efficient solutions, and of course, the growing importance of cybersecurity.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. But that's kind of why we do these deep dives, right? To like break it all down, make sense of it all.
Precisely. And with AMD, it's about, how are they handling all these trends? What are their strengths, their weaknesses, and what are their chances of success?
Let's circle back to AI for a sec. You mentioned AMD is going all in. What does that actually look like, on the ground?
Well, it starts with the hardware, right? Like those Instinct MI300X accelerators we talked about. Those are already making a splash. But AMD's not stopping there. They're constantly pushing the limits of AI chip design.
And they're putting a ton of resources into software too, right?
Absolutely. AI isn't just about the chips themselves. It's about having the right software to unlock their potential.
Yeah.
AMD is working to build like a whole ecosystem of software tools so developers can create and use AI applications more easily.
Right, and we can't forget about those strategic partnerships. They seem pretty crucial to their AI strategy.
For sure. By teaming up with big cloud providers, like IBM, Google, and AWS, AMD is ensuring that their AI chips are part of those widely used cloud
So
platforms.
it's a three-pronged approach:
Yeah,
hardware, software, and partnerships.
exactly. Covering all their bases.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the Ryzen AI-powered PCs. You mentioned that AMD is aiming those at the business world. Why is that a smart move?
Well, think about the potential for AI to like completely transform the workplace, right?
Right.
Imagine PCs that can like predict what you need, automate tasks, give you personalized insights.
So what gives AMD an edge in this market? I mean, it's pretty competitive.
Well, the Ryzen AI processors, they're designed for both performance and energy efficiency. And that's a big deal for businesses, who are trying to be more environmentally conscious. Plus, they're working with PC makers like Dell to make sure those Ryzen AI processors are available in a wide variety of devices, so businesses have options.
So they're betting that AI is going to be just as big for businesses as it is for other sectors?
It seems like a pretty safe bet,
Yeah.
and AMD is positioning themselves to be a leader in that space.
All right, we've got to talk about gaming. We know AMD's gaming revenue took a hit in 2024. So what are they doing to try to get back on top?
Their new Radeon GPUs, those could be a game changer, literally. They're designed to deliver the ultimate gaming experience. Features like real-time ray tracing and AI-powered upscaling.
Those are some pretty impressive features. But is it enough to win back those gamers? The ones who maybe switched over to NVIDIA or Intel.
It's tough to say. The gaming market is brutal. Brand loyalty is a big factor.
But AMD's got that history of innovation. Do you think they can use that to succeed in 2025?
They're going to have to tap into that innovative spirit if they want to compete in this market.
You mentioned earlier how fast the pace of innovation is. What are some of the other big trends you're keeping an eye on in the tech world right now?
Well, AI is only going to get bigger, more transformative in the years to come. It's already changing how we live and work, but that's just the beginning.
And the metaverse, that's another exciting development, right? Even though it's still early days, the potential is huge.
Absolutely. The metaverse is going to create completely new ways to interact, play, work, learn. It's going to be a major driver of innovation.
And of course, we can't forget about sustainability. As tech becomes more and more a part of our lives, its environmental impact, that's becoming more and more important.
I agree, 100%. We need to be developing technologies that are powerful and innovative, but also energy efficient and environmentally sustainable.
So where does AMD fit into all of this?
They're actually well positioned to take advantage of these trends. They've got a deep understanding of hardware and software, and they seem committed to innovation and sustainability.
But they've also got some serious challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely. The tech industry is super competitive. There are no guarantees.
So do you think AMD can overcome those challenges and, really become a leader in the tech world?
I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but they've got the talent, the technology, and the vision. It'll be fascinating to see what they do next.
I agree. Their story really shows how dynamic the tech world is and how important it is to stay informed and be adaptable.
That's right. The only constant is change.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day, the headlines and all that. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the trends, it really kind of puts things in perspective.
Right. It's important to understand these forces shaping the tech world. I mean, they're going to have a huge impact on our lives, our societies, our future.
It really underscores that this isn't just about, like, one company's wins and losses. It's something much bigger.
Yeah, it's about the future of tech and, how it'll shape humanity.
Okay, maybe that's a bit dramatic, but you gotta admit, tech is playing a more and more central role in our lives.
Oh, absolutely. And that's exactly why these conversations are so important. We need to, really engage with these issues, think critically about tech's place in our world.
And be informed consumers, right?
Yeah,
Make smart choices about, like, the tech we use, the companies we support.
100%. We have a responsibility to be informed and engaged citizens.
So, for everyone listening, what's the big takeaway from our deep dive into AMD and the future of tech? What should you be thinking about as you go about your day, interacting with technology, making decisions about your own future?
I think the most important thing is awareness. Being aware of the trends that are shaping the tech world, the potential benefits, the risks of these technologies, and the power we have as consumers, as citizens, to actually shape that future.
Yeah, we're not just, sitting back and watching this tech revolution unfold. We're active participants, and our choices, they really do have an impact.
For sure. Every decision we make, every product we buy, every company we support, it all sends a signal to the market. And all those signals together, well, they influence the direction of innovation.
So be mindful, be informed, be engaged.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This has been a really fascinating deep dive. I hope everyone found it insightful, thought-provoking.
It's been great discussing this with you.
And to all our listeners, keep those brains buzzing, keep asking questions, and keep exploring the amazing world of tech. Until next time.